yo, Eric, we're over here on the Paranormal hunt, and I headed over to this other building, and it's number 13. I was just telling Ron, my God.
All right, welcome, my friends. Hey, don't worry, everybody. Anthony's going to be coming on in a few minutes. Ron's actually on the road, so for him to jump on, sometimes being on the road, you don't get that clear connection. So expect the unexpected. Right now, guys, I am putting in a poll. Right now, as we speak, I'm putting in a poll. Will we ever see an extraterrestrial first contact in our lifetime? So answer that question. Do you believe we will ever see an extraterrestrial in our lifetime? And I'm not talking about ET coming to an individual house, making contact. I'm talking about making contact to the whole world. If that's shaking the president's hand or not. Will we ever see? Simple. Will we ever see it? So put in your vote. It should be in the StreamYard. And so far, some saying 60% yes, 30% no. Put that in there. Because to me, I feel that there's so much corruption on this planet. And you have to believe, people, you have to believe that I believe in alien life. I think a lot of you who are watching the show believe in alien life. And I hope you guys do. I hope you guys do. That if they have the technology to come here to our planet, they have to know what's going on this planet. If they have the technology to come here. Kind of like, if you guys ever watched the 60s Star Trek, even the movies where Star Trek was designed to go to planets and they're not supposed to get involved. They're supposed to scope it out in the background. Now that's another story itself. Do we feel like they've been here on this planet just exploring us? To me, that's as far as I think they will do. I don't think one day they're going to come to the planet, go to President Biden or who's ever going to be the future president. Nobody knows. I just heard that another Kennedy is going to run against him. I mean, I don't know. Oh, look here.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, I didn't know if first of all, actually, I forgot to ask the chat. Can you guys actually hear me just fine? Because I have a new mic.
So I hear you fine.
Well, you're always worried that when you get a new mic, you can't hear yourself. If you're coming across, people can hear it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad everybody can hear it. So Anthony, in the chat, I put a poll up. Will we ever see an extraterrestrial first contact in our lifetime with all the corruption we have? And the reason I came up with this, when you're gone for a week, you're going to places and going on vacation or whatever you're doing, everywhere you go, you're surrounded by corporations.
Right.
Your shoes you're wearing, corporation. Your shirts, everything you wear, corporations.
Right down to your underwear.
In corporations. And it seems like we're living in a time, because like I said, I have a lot of time to think about it. You're thinking about stuff, and I'm thinking about myself. We're supposed to be in a slight recession in a way where prices are skyrocketed. And what I'm seeing, Anthony, is I don't think anybody from the government level, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy here. I don't think anybody gives a goddamn crap because no company is lowering prices for nobody, no anything. You know what I mean? I mean, prices are going up. Anthony, I went to this place. I'm not going to tell everybody exactly where I went to. I went to this place. They have a parking lot.
Okay.
Big parking lot. This is what they're doing now. So, Mr. Wood, would you want the $30 parking lot? You want the $50 parking lot? Do you want the $70 parking lot?
What's the difference? It's all the same parking.
That's what I said. And I said, what's the difference between the 30, 50, 70? Well, the 30, you're in the general, so you're basically all the way in the back. So if you want to get closer, you pay the 50. You want to be up front, you pay 70. And it's just like, my God, aren't we supposed to be in recession? It just, however a freaking company can make $1, they're freaking doing it. I mean, it's just, wow. It kind of, not reality, but it really tells you that these companies, they really don't care. They're not your friends.
They aren't. No, they are not. It's all about the almighty dollar, Eric. That's what breaks down everywhere you go today, man. It's so crazy. Like, even like when I had, like you and I being disabled, when we got to go do our disability stuff, right? And we got to go drive out, and you got to park the car by the medical place. Even in a residential neighborhood now, when you got to park a car, you got to pay to put it in a lot, or you got to pay the meter in a residential neighborhood. These are things when I was growing up we didn't have in residential neighborhoods, and now they're everywhere. Same thing with these speed trap cameras. They're on every other block. It's just all about making money, whether you're a big corporation, you're the city or the state. It's all about the almighty dollar. They don't care about the people anymore. It's all about the greenbacks. It's a shame.
It is. It really is. Have any of you, Anthony, have you heard the crazy corruption story about eBay?
I have not. I know about Amazon, what they do, but no, I have not heard about eBay.
And guys, this is all related. This is all related why I think aliens are never going to come here. Because I know some people right now probably think, Eric, you guys are just conspiracy theorists. I'm sure people are saying that right now. You're these companies aren't as bad as people think they are. They're not really doing that many things to harm people. I'm gonna play you guys a news story of what eBay management executives. I'm not talking about the regular warehouse workers, people like us, the regular blue collar workers. I'm talking about executives all the way up to CEO. It is a crazy, crazy story, and I don't even know how this story ever got passed by me without even knowing about the story. This is about eBay. I'm going to play this. You guys might get a kick out of this. This is true conspiracy. Not conspiracy. This really happened. Oh, is it doing that thing where I have to?
Oh, wait a minute. What video you looking up? I got it. What the hell's going on?
Hold on. I'll take that one off. I'll bring it back up. This is a problem I've been having with StreamYard now, that if I put it up beforehand, it's been doing that. Here, I'll get a fresh.
That's so weird. And I shouldn't talk because I haven't had an issue with StreamYard yet. The only issue I have is when people donate or whatever, I can't see it in the chat right away. It takes a few minutes. But other than that, I've been fine. But Ron is having some serious issues. I know he went to OBS. Now they better get on the ball, man.
Yeah, now this is about a couple speaks out about alleged harassment from eBay. Okay, there it is on the bottom.
Oh, I do have an eBay story for you when you're done.
ABC News exclusive now with a Massachusetts couple who claim they were subjected to a vicious campaign of harassment by former eBay executives. We bring in now our chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis. And Rebecca, some of these details about what they went through are just downright bizarre.
Totally bizarre, TJ, and mind-blowing. Imagine executives at a major American corporation getting together, conspiring to make your life a living hell. It is not a horror film. This is what the Steiners say happened to them.
David and Ina Steiner, a couple living in a quiet suburb outside of Boston, say it started with graffiti spray painted on their fence.
It was really disturbing. It just didn't make any sense.
The pair run a 22-year-old website dedicated to e-commerce news that could be critical of eBay's policies. Prosecutors allege that's what made them a target.
I started getting harassed online through Twitter, through unwanted email subscriptions, and these were really disturbing emails.
But according to a recently filed lawsuit, that was just the beginning.
We got a phone call from a shop in Arizona that said that they couldn't deliver the wet specimen that we had ordered. And not having any idea what a wet specimen was, I asked her. She said it was an embalmed pig fetus.
The Steiners allege they became the victims of a harassment campaign that would leave them fearing for their lives, orchestrated by former executives of eBay, the e-commerce giant worth more than $47 billion. Speaking out exclusively to Good Morning America, the couple and their lawyer detail what they call in the complaint a systematic campaign to emotionally and psychologically torture the pair in order to stifle their reporting on eBay.
You also received cockroaches, a book on surviving the loss of a spouse, a funeral wreath. Your neighbors received pornography that was addressed to David. Did it cross your mind at any point that eBay could be behind this?
No, it was a psychopath. Who could devise these torturous packages and the depravity, the messages, if you read the language, I never in a million years would have thought it was a company.
One package even allegedly contained this disturbing mask from the movie Saw.
This is the mask the killer wears right before he kidnaps, tortures, and kills his victims.
These are from
At one point,
executives,
they say
people.
eBay employees attempted to place a tracking device on their car.
We still can't believe it, and we still want to know why.
Prosecutors have also criminally charged 6 eBay employees and a contractor with cyberstalking. 5 have pleaded guilty, 2 maintain their innocence and await trial.
I'm going to press pause for a
eBay
second.
says they have fully cooperated with the investigation, adding in a statement to ABC News. The misconduct.
There's only a little bit left anyway. I'll press pause for a second. Now think about that. 5 have already proved guilty. Doesn't matter what the other 2 people. I mean, these are executives, and you guys look it up.
That's not all they do, Eric, eBay. Because when I had my eBay store, when I was selling all the toys and everything, and I had the store, if somebody would complain and say they didn't receive an item or anything like that, they wouldn't do an investigation. If you sold somebody $1,700 worth of collectible toys and they said they didn't get an item or I didn't send a package and I received the money, they would hit me for the money.
Yeah.
And then I would have to prove everything to get my money back. I lost like $2,700 and change from eBay because, just you got these lowlifes that say, oh, I didn't get this one item that was graded and it was worth $1,000 or whatever. There's lowlifes out there that do that stuff. And then me, the seller, I get hit. And I've been hit. That's why I don't use them anymore.
Let's see what they say. Anything else?
Conduct of these former employees was wrong, and we will do what is fair and appropriate to try to address what the Steiners went through. The events from 2019 should never have happened, and as eBay expressed to the Steiners, we are very sorry for what they endured. But guys, you can imagine this story is not over. The fact that this could happen, it could come from a company like eBay that's supposed to help the little guy sell his or her stuff on eBay.
Now, if you guys in the chat, if you guys could look up stuff yourself, there's full stories that they were sending like body animal parts to them on purpose, trying to get there because they have a website about the news. They do consumer news to make them look like they're evil and they're bad. And the funny thing about the story is been done, Anthony, by executives. The CEO had to leave the company because of this. So when people say that these corporations aren't that evil, dude, it's right there. I mean,
you know what else I find insane? Amazon, right? Major corporation. Do you know what Amazon does when you send your products back to them? They throw them out.
Yep.
Okay. I have a couple friends that have shows on YouTube that do dumpster diving. And a couple of my friends, they went and they did the Amazon facility for dumpster diving. And we're talking about stuff that's going out to the trash dumpster diving, all right? They found gold rings, necklaces, 14 karat gold stuff, computers, phones, you name it, all from the return stuff. Everything you return there that's an open package gets thrown out and they do it as a tax write-off. That should be illegal.
You're
That
right.
should be illegal. That should be a crime.
It should be a crime. It should be a crime. You know, and a lot of people don't even realize they don't even wake up. You know, like when Trump was president, everybody talks about look at how much bankruptcy type companies. Well, people don't understand. He's not bankrupting his whole company, just a few little stores. By doing that, you could do write-offs of all lost. So they do it in a way where they limit taxes and they get to walk away
Scot-free.
Scot-free. I mean, so why is that even irrelevant with ETs
Like,
and extraterrestrial?
how would it not? How would it? First of all, yes, it's wasteful. Paradox fossils, yeah, absolutely correct. And why can't they take an open package, jewelry, phones, anything like that, that's still useful, and sell it to a secondhand store? And you know what I'm saying? Get the money from other businesses instead of throwing it out and taking it away from us, the taxpayer. You know what I'm saying? It's so screwed up. It's not even funny.
In the past, you're right.
There used to making the big man richer.
There used to be a store in the past. I remember we had a store that would buy or get all these products from companies that went under, and they would sell them there. And I don't really see those stores no more. It's like it's cheaper, not to ship.
Danny just said it because now Amazon and them, a lot of them, they do those pallet. You could buy like pallets and those are the items that was sent back, and they'll just throw a ton of stuff in there for $100 and send it to you. If it works, it works. You know what I mean? It's all one big scam. And even that stuff that they're selling to you in pallets, that's already been written off as a total loss, and they're doing that to make more money on it. It's crazy.
And that's exactly what I was saying. Grasshopper, Trump went into bankruptcy as part of business write-offs. That's exactly what I was saying. So when Hillary was running against him saying, look, he's not a great, smart businessman. Look, he has bankruptcy. It's all by design. That's what makes a great businessman, actually.
It's not only Trump. It's all of them.
Oh, it's all of them.
They all have dirty laundry, man. Every single one of them. You know?
But it is.
Answer me this. Take Nancy Pelosi, right? Speaker of the House. How does she have $200 million in the bank? They make like $200,000 a year to work in the Senate. How does she have $200 million in the bank? They get money like that from speaking engagements and their dirty side deals to make big pharma and big corporations bigger.
Because you can't own certain things. Like when George Bush became governor of Texas, he had to sell off his Texas Rangers. Because you cannot be a governor and own a franchise, which makes sense. But they still, like you said, they still make these millions and millions when technically their checks monthly are not super huge.
How many other people have they harassed like this? Do you have other clips from people that got harassed like this?
You know what? I have when I just heard that story, and there are a bunch of stories, but there's just so many to look up. But that one was just crazy because that story, they caught the executives who are doing it. They got 5 of them in it. It was just weird because we all know companies have their fallmen, you know?
Right.
But to know that these came exactly from executive, you guys go to another story.
Crazy.
The CEO, the original CEO, they have text, but those videos like 15 minutes, the show be taken off, have said, I want these people to fall. I want them to fall hard. That's from a CEO. Want them to fall hard. So when people think if we're bashing like David Wilcox, we're bashing Jeremy Gardell and all these kind of people, it's because these people are also connected with these big corporations behind them. You know, you saw what happened to the Blink-182 lead singer, where his heart was. Yeah, Tom DeLonge's heart was in the right place for UFOs, but he got in with the crowd, with the groups that had connections with these corporations. Then it just falls apart.
Same thing with Chris Bledsoe. Nah, I'm no Bledsoe fan or anything like that. I know who the guy is. You know, I've spoken with him before. No, I don't believe his story. You know what I mean? Maybe he's seen a few UFOs, but everything that's going on is not true. I don't think, in my own personal opinion. But same thing happened to him. He had like Lou Elizondo and Corbell and all those people go meet him on his property, and then they try to steal the story from him. That's what those big guys do that are in the big
Yep.
UFO know it all. With the faces that we
Yep.
see all the time. That's what they do.
Now, slow motion. Why were they doing it? Because they had a website for consumers, and when there's complaints and stuff, they write the histories of what's going on with consumers.
Right.
eBay just don't want nobody to talk bad about them. They in their minds, this one website is probably affect. I don't know what they thought, 20%, 5% of people not to do eBay. It's because they could. They did it. Now, Anthony made a good point. Like, where are there other stories? Listen, they come up one day and did this all first time with this group. So they did it with groups. And the presidents, I don't know. Actually, this is kind of funny. I got this other video. It's called Fake News. And one of the TV show used a third grader kid to explain what fake news is. I thought it was kind of cute. So let me play this fake news with this third grader. Explain it to the president.
Hi, Mr. President. Today I'm going to explain fake news because it's not what you think it is. So what is it? Well, the dictionary defines fake as a thing that is not genuine, a forgery or sham. So, fake news is a news story that is intentionally fabricated and presented as if it were real news. Get it? For example, this headline was widely shared on Facebook. Cinnamon roll can explodes inside man's butt during shoplifting incident. That's funny, but it's fake. And even though it's fake, this article was shared 765,000 times. That's a lot of times. Unfortunately, a lot of the fake news articles misled people about important subjects, like reporting that the Pope endorsed you, or that ISIS told Muslims to vote for Hillary. That's fake news. But don't let the fake news tell you that there's big infighting in the Trump admin. We are getting along great and getting major things done. It's not fake news, Mr. President. It's real news that you disagree with. And that's an important difference, because when you call real news fake, you undermine people's trust in the free press to keep us informed. Thanks for listening, and let me know if you have any questions.
I thought that was cute.
The legend.
Yeah, a little kid explained to the president of what's the definition of fake news and real news.
Good for him.
But that's the thing, Anthony. That's the hardest part. We never know what's real anymore and what's fake anymore, and not just on a corporation level, of all levels.
Everything. There's smear campaigns and everything, right down into the ufology world. People do it every day, man. It's pathetic. That's why we try to weed those people out.
Yeah. So, in our lifetime, in your opinion, Anthony, in our lifetime, when I was asking that question, will we ever see like the true first contact? And again, people, I'm not talking about first contact with an individual person like ET or whatever. I'm talking about a real first contact landing on some presidents here. I don't know, Britain. I don't know. Making announcement to the world that we are here for good reasons, bad reasons, doesn't matter. Do you think in our lifetime we're ever going to see that?
Not in our lifetime. I don't think we're ready yet. I think that it's going to take many, many, many generations to get there. But there will come a time where we're done with war and we're done with starving out our own people and having borders and all of that stuff and fighting over and killing people over religion. And I think it's not until all of that stops, then maybe they'll make contact like that. Because think about it, Eric. Who would want to come land on a world where we draw lines in the sand and say, you can't cross this line, you can't cross that line, it's a border? Or this country is allowed to have clean water, but that country is not allowed to have clean water. Or if you don't believe in this God, we're going to cut your hands off because you have to believe in that God. War. over oil and famine, and until all of that craziness stops, until the bigotry stops and the hate and all of that nonsense, maybe then they'll come visit us. But until then, if I was an alien, I wouldn't want to land here on a planet that's like that.
And guys in chat, this is rare that we talk politics. Once in a while, politics is involved. So go with us on this. And in our lifetime, the reason I brought this all up, because even with the so-called recession, you see how everything prices. I was seeing firsthand how everything is rising and stuff. And I'm wondering if they do this to us, even in a so-called recession, because what the economy went through the last 3-4 years, and they're still charging us more. Will it ever gonna change? You know what I mean? Is it ever gonna change? Because it's such an unfair system. I feel bad for my own kids and stuff, because they don't know, nobody gets a fair chance. You know, we live in America where everybody talks about freedom, and everybody has, you know, if you work hard, you're going to get this. I get that. You work hard, you're going to get it. I get that. But it's still not a fair playing level where kids under Trump, they get to go to college for free because they're so rich. Our kids have to take loans and have to fight and stuff. And I mean, it's almost like everybody, I really truly feel this is not a Democrat side, this is not a Republican side. I truly feel that education should be free to every single buddy here, where everything is a fair playing level. Because to get to the part where we need to clean up this world so we can make first contact, it's not going to happen until somehow regular people can have a fair playing level and be able to make it just as easy as Trump kids or any kids, Clinton kids.
I think that's why these ETs make contact on a personal level.
Yes.
They choose people that are able to accept the message, and they give them that knowledge. You know what I mean? On a personal basis. I think that's a good way to be right now, the way things are, you know, until we shape up.
And I just wonder, when is it going to be? What is it going to take to shake up? I'm always afraid that it's going to take destruction, you know, these stupid wars, to finding somebody wakes up and go, why are we killing ourselves? Wouldn't it be better if we just all work together?
And I could be totally wrong. ETs may not be as advanced that we think. They may have like cool toys that they can get from one point of the universe to another with, but they may be dumb as dirt when they came here, you know, education-wise. They might not have schooling like we have or anything like that. They may just know how to operate extraterrestrial vehicles to get from one point of the universe to the other. That may be the only education they've ever learned. You know, they might not understand war or money or anything like we understand it. It may be a totally different concept for them. You know, and we're looking at everything from a human perspective, how they would be. It may be totally different when they actually really get here and everybody gets to meet them, you know?
No, I agree. I mean, we don't know. That's the thing. We don't know. And of course, I hope before we kick the bucket in our lifetime that we get to see a connection with space and, you know, becoming friends. But, you know, don't hold your breath. Now, this is not a conspiracy or not. We're going to talk about, I got a video on, we're going to have fun with Art Bell. You know, we talked about everybody else. We talked about Bell. We talked about everybody else, but I got a couple of videos of Art Bell. Let me see here. Here's one video. Because there is a conspiracy about Art Bell's death. Like, did he really die of overdose? Was it set up like that? You know, what is it? So here's a video.
Authorities in Nye County have not yet determined what caused the death of nationally syndicated talk radio host Art Bell, the king of late night.
Bell died at his home in Pahrump last Friday at the age of 72. True to the conspiracy tone of his programs, there are some now wild stories floating around his death. The I-Team's George Knapp knew Bell for almost 30 years and is here now with more tonight.
One national news outlet, I think it was the Washington Post, referred to Art Bell as the mysterious navigator of the American nightscape, and so he was. His late-night radio career started here in Las Vegas and blossomed into a syndicated network of hundreds of stations. Many of the programs focused on the weird and conspiratorial, so it's not entirely unexpected that some of his legions of followers might speculate about the cause of death with unsupported theories, including everything from murder to suicide to a hoax. From what we have heard, there were no signs of foul play at his home in Pahrump. The cause of death has not yet been determined and may not be known until toxicology tests are returned, and sometimes that can take weeks. Bell retired from the air a few times, but always returned, including back in 2013 when he agreed to host a show on satellite radio. He gave us only on-camera interview at that time, and I shared some of his press clippings with him to hear his reaction.
His greatest achievement is to make the utterly juvenile completely captivating.
The utterly juvenile. I don't think it's utterly juvenile. Questions like life after death and where we go and what happens to us, these are not juvenile questions. Some of them may well be. I mean, face facts. Some of what I do is flat out entertainment. I've never hidden that fact. Some of it is hard science, and I leave it up to the audience to decide which is which.
It's more fun to be weird than right, more fun to wonder than to know. Do you think that's someone speculating about what goes on in your head?
I think that being weird is okay and being right is important. I guess you could say I'm rightly weird.
At his peak, his show Coast to Coast AM had 12 to 15 million listeners per week and covered much more than UFOs and the paranormal. As a matter of disclosure, I was a colleague of Art's at different times over the years and still fill in on that show on some weekends. Nye County, by the way, relies on the Clark County coroner to handle these kinds of inquiries. We've been calling him twice a day since Monday. There is as yet no official cause of death.
You're muted, Eric. Muted.
Lighting up the way. Valley Electric Association.
Okay, this is the video of what was found when he died. So I do have that, so people know.
Radio here in Pahrump, and former talk show host 72-year-old Art Bell died from an apparent accidental drug overdose. Clark County coroner has released the autopsy results that showed Bell had 4 different medications in his system when he died on April 13th of this year. The coroner says Bell had taken oxycodone, hydrocodone, diazepam, and corrispidol. Officials also say that chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and hypertension contributed to his death. Bell was a longtime radio personality on the late-night syndicated show Coast to Coast and launched Midnight in the Desert. He leaves behind his loving wife, beautiful children.
So basically, that's what the report says. Now, there are conspiracies out there saying that, that was just said in the news and all that. But I mean, you heard it from himself that his show was for entertainment purposes. So basically, that's basically telling the world that everything was faked. Maybe not everything, but most of the show was entertainment purposes only.
George Norrie took it over now. Well, he's had it for quite some time.
So when he took over,
George Norrie,
still called Art Bell, or he just switched it to his name?
Coast to Coast AM.
So he kept the name like Coast to Coast, but it's still not the, it's not the exactly same. Because listen, when I grew up,
bigger now.
Art Bell was fun to listen to. I mean, it was like that old. I mean, I wasn't born in the 40s and 50s, but people used to listen to the radio. That was their TV. So it was fun listening to Art Bell, listen to people call up and say, they're chasing me right now. They know what I have. You know what I mean? And when you're a kid, you're like, oh,
wow,
man,
is that really going on?
But I guess you could say that technically Art Bell was kind of the birth of fake stories being used for entertainment at that time. He never said it was entertainment.
Yeah, Third Phase of Moon took that over now.
Really?
The fake stories.
Wow.
They took the fake story part over.
And so when people made up conspiracies that he died from it all, I'm like, really? Why would they? You know what I mean? Why would they want to have him disappear when he already said his stories were entertainment? They weren't real. And all that. I mean, you listened to probably Art Bell when you grew up, right?
Sure.
I mean, the man
I
was.
still go listen to his old stuff on YouTube. You could find it.
Oh yeah. There's tons of
You
archives.
watch the old Art Bell archives. You learn a lot, especially if you're doing shows like ours, man. You pick up a lot of little golden Easter eggs there off that man. He was a legend.
Yeah, and I'm sure not every story, but some stories were originated from probably some sightings and stuff like that out there. So I'm not going to sit here and say 100% of it was fake. You know, some of these stories just got exaggerated, big time.
Big time.
Let's see. Anybody say anything interesting? What does he say? When it was behind paywall, I gave up on it.
When you had to start paying for it to see the show.
Oh, when he went to Sirius Radio. But you know what? I never totally blame people for going to Sirius Radio because traditional radio has become so. You can't say this, you can't say that, you can't say a word, you can't be yourself. It was so controlled.
When I bought my first Cadillac, when the CTS came out in 04, I had bought it, and it had the Sirius XM radio came with the caddy, and that used to be one of my favorite channels to listen to in that car. You know.
Yeah, I still have Sirius Radio on in my van out there.
Yeah,
I only paid $3.
Awesome, man.
I only paid like $3-4, and to me, I get to listen.
But I like Howard Stern, so I got the other one too.
Yeah, now the Howard Stern was the next tier up. I don't pay for that tier because I don't know. Howard Stern is just not interesting to me no more. He's more centralized corporation kind of a person, kind of a way now. So, you know, there was a time when he didn't care what he said, but you know, even though you're on Sirius Radio, you could say, you could cuss, but all because you could cuss 10,000 words doesn't make your show better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's this? Is Jimmy Church equals Art Bell light?
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Church, he's all right. He just covers a lot of people that I can't get behind myself. You know, Corey Good, David Wilcock, and I understand being in the ufology game. You know, those guys are promoting anything that makes money, but for me, I just can't get behind that shit. I got to be behind true stories. You know what I mean? Factual stuff. I don't want to be behind all the bullshit. I think it's a total waste of time pumping bullshit into the community. If you ask me, total waste of time.
I'm curious what the poll is now. Let's see here. Let me see. So far, will we ever see 65% of people says 67% of the people says yes, and 33% says no.
Okay.
I still don't think we're gonna see it just because of what the corruption is. Now, here's a fun little video. I want you guys to think: is this ghost caught on camera? Is it real or is it fake? Let's see.
Hold on one second before we get into that. Danny, yeah, he burned them last month on his channel, but he promoted them for the past 15, 20 years, knowing that they were fraudsters. Okay, and Jimmy Church also has a pedophile that does all his documentaries, and he's his main guy that produces everything for him. He's a well-known pedophile. You could go see that on Truth Seeker. Stephen Cambion to show you. The guy promotes scam artists, and I don't get behind that. But as far as this goes, what do you want to know? Real or fake?
I don't really follow. I don't really know the history of this Jimmy Church guy, whatever his name is.
Works with Christina Gomez. Not a bad guy. You know, Jimmy Church, buy my coffee, buy my pills, buy my anal lube. You know that guy. Got the black goatee. He's got all the guitars behind him when he does the show.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I know exactly who you're talking about. Sometimes,
Nice guy, good guy. Just,
Yeah.
he promotes anybody in ufology. You don't care what, if it makes dollars, it makes sense to Jimmy. That's all.
Yeah. I know exactly who you're talking about. It's just you can see that these people I don't really watch, so it's not like I know these people by heart. So, guys, what is that? Is that a crackhead walking to a car to steal something, or do you think they caught something?
He's looking for a rock. He dropped. He dropped the crack rock.
Justin. Of course, I think that's fake. Of course, I think that's fake. That's not real.
Nah.
But what do you guys think? Is that a crackhead walking, or is that
It
real
looks
ghost?
It looks like a crackhead walking.
I know, right? I'm not trying to make fun of people on crack, but just look how he walks. Like, I'm gonna steal something. I gotta buy some more crack. Where is it? Where is it?
If he picks something up off the floor, I'm gonna crack up. Laugh.
No, the video.
Where's the crack nugget?
That video is there. So now we're gonna have fun. Like I said, we're gonna have fun here. I'm gonna pull up. I gotta go back to my desktop. Okay, so this is called 11 scariest 11 scariest real ghost photos and all that. So I'm gonna play it, and I want everybody in the chat. We're all gonna join together on this. We're gonna say which one we think it's real or fake.
All right.
Now that's supposed to be technically a ghost opening that back door. I think it's fake. So that first one,
fake. The first one was fake.
It is fake because there's not even really a lot of footage of this thing walking around. It's just, I mean, that could be a made-up dummy made, or that could still be a person. The way the camera,
Yeah, they could have faded, blended it into the picture anyway. The things you could do today are crazy.
It's amazing. All right, so everybody thinks fake. How about this one? A face.
Nah, that looks like it's added in.
So that one. So that one we're all agreeing that could be fake as a face down there.
Definitely.
Because I would be thinking myself, and one of the first questions I'd be thinking,
look how clear it is.
And it's clear, and no offense, what would a ghost be looking down there at? Unless it's a man, it's a pervert.
They put it down there to make you think like, oh my God, nobody noticed that. You know what I'm saying? They did that to it. They gave you that effect.
Or it's a pervert ghost looking up pants. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's goddamn
pervert. It's a little kid, your mental case.
Oh shit, you're right. I'm bad. Take it back. That ghost gonna have to go. That's bad. I forgot there's a little kid crying.
The pervert child.
Now, I've seen this one. This one's supposed to be famous. This is, let me see this. Dead working back.
Oh, that's so fake.
That was fake?
No, not this one. That one could be real. I'm not 100% on that one. The next
I know.
one.
This is all guesses for all of us, right?
Is it just me, or does the driver of that car look like Art Bell that we've been talking about him? Am I wrong? Does it not look like him?
It does now. It does. Let's see the next one.
That's so fake.
Yeah.
He looks
Because it
like
looks
that that Captain Octopus guy from that Pirates Caribbean.
Davy Jones.
Davy Jones, yeah.
Yeah. Now, of course, that's the famous
horror.
That's the famous Amityville horror one.
That one I've always believed. Could be wrong,
Yeah.
but I've always believed that one.
100%. What do you guys think in the chat? This Amityville horror one. What do you guys think? You think that one's real or fake? The ghost from what did you say? The ghost from Disney Haunted House. Now, I know there are stories that the Disney the Haunted Mansion that supposedly there's some real ghost in there, but I mean,
what about the Wizard of Oz? Remember the scene where the guy's hanging himself when they're going walking
oh,
out?
one of yeah. So hard to tell. Real. The monk. The monk is not fake.
Which one are you talking about, Harley? Not the one we've seen before this.
Yeah,
with
which
the octopus face?
The monk is not fake. Which one's the monk?
I don't know what monk he's talking about.
Yeah, Exploring Horror. Are you talking about that
This?
one? Is that the one you're talking about?
You can tell that's added in. Or is he talking about the very first one?
And everybody in the chat, don't worry about this music. I took out the original and I replaced it with a free music license. So
He's saying that the one before this is real.
Oh, so he is saying he
not
thinks it is real.
Not a monk. Look at the face. It's not a person. It looks like an octopus head.
He must have a good reason why he thinks.
I mean, he does his research, so.
Yeah. I mean, literally, probably the most fakest ones. We think it's fake, and turn out those are the real ones.
But do you see what I'm saying with the head? It looks like a freaking octopus. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool, but that's easy to fake.
Oh, this is the face to the picture of World War I, the ghostly face. Oh, you guys see that right there?
The hand. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, the hand.
It looks clear as day, huh?
It does.
Hold on a second. Rewind that. Stop that right there. Look under the fingers. Does it look like another mouth is there in the chin? Right under the pinky digit. You know, the lips and like part of another face there as well. As if somebody's holding the kid on the nose like this. And you're seeing from, these fingers down.
Okay. No, I see exactly what you're talking about. That's a good catch.
You also see the teeth.
He wrote, it's a hooded monk. Those were plagued masks in the Dark Ages.
Okay, well then that explains that.
Okay. I can see exactly.
I see a whole nother face under that hand there. So could it be another kid sitting behind her?
That's a good one. What does it say in the bottom?
3 crew.
It's hard to.
Resemblance of the SS Watertown.
Yeah, see, people in the chat, when we're looking at this on our screen, the blue line goes right over, so it's hard for us to read. So heads.
I'm glad Holly knew that. Thank God he was here, because I didn't know that was a plague mask. That's what made me think it was fake, because that thing it had on his head.
So
That's
you You got the light. This is what does it say? Doris Riddler, known as the Inton.
Huh. That's be a camera reflection though too. You know.
I was about to ask you. Because it starts to look around. Could that be just a reflection from a camera?
Yeah, it could be they could have used a flash and it could have reflected off something. Or it could be a genuine, astral thing, It's hard to tell with pictures, but it could be a trick of light,
Yeah, you're right. It is
It
really
happens all
hard.
the time.
It's hard because it's not like an orb, it's a longer and thinking about if that was a
But
ghost.
what's really cool about this picture, if you really pay attention to it, it looks like the bow of light is starting out of the one radio she's holding in her hand. See, she's holding a little stereo in her hand where the light starts. And then it jumps over and it looks like another stereo equipment on the other end table by the window. And it looks like it's coming out of one boom box into another.
It's like an aura.
Yeah.
You never know. But that must take a lot of energy to be able to do that.
It's coming out. I'm sorry. Scratch that. It's coming out of the top of that girl's head and going into the window where the radio is there. That's what I meant to say.
It's a rainbow with no colors.
Well, it's a black and white photo. It could be a bunch of different colors there, but we're only seeing it in black and white. But if you look where I'm talking about, see the guy on the left of the frame that gets cut off? He's wearing like a different color checkered shirt. Okay.
Yep.
He's also has a reflection coming out of the top of his head too. Very faintly. Do you see it? So that's
yeah.
the trick of camera light.
Oops. Not that. Is there something in the room we can't see making the light?
Yeah, it's possible.
Could be possible, yeah. And this looks like a very older picture, more 70s.
70s, right? Yeah.
And all that. So let's see anymore.
But I'm wondering why she's on the bed all by itself.
Now, that one's supposed to be there's a car crash. Someone took a picture of the crash. And then when they did it, the film came out where it looks like a ghostly figure. But isn't that look too white? Like too good looking in a weird way?
Place there. Yeah. But, listen, this can be an old hoaxed photo for all we know. I mean, unless you have the original photos, it's so hard to tell. But it's fun to guess. I don't know. What do you think, Eric?
It is fun to guess. It looks like it doesn't look natural. It doesn't look like it's blending in with the picture. It almost looks like to me that it was put there. But listen, I don't know what a ghost would really look like if we know for a fact that because like the thing you guys filmed, you and Ron filmed with the hand, that was almost a perfect heated hand.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody could say that to me. Well, Eric, that looks too perfect. That doesn't look blended.
Too perfect to me too. Yeah, but it was.
You know what I mean? So, who said that's not the real deal? But I wonder. But every picture that he took, was it just that one photo? Was there several?
Still a cool shot. That's cool.
I've seen that one before.
Is it real?
And I can't read those words.
The brown lady of Ranaham Hall.
I'm so dumb. I could just look.
Ranaham Hall.
I could just look at my other screen. The brown lady of Rainham Hall. I heard about this one that there's supposedly truly haunted there.
Did Ghost Adventures do this case before? Because I've seen this image before, and I swear it was on Ghost Adventures, man.
Let me type it in. Hold on, let me see. Ghost.
It was either Ghost Adventures or what's that one in the UK, man? The guy with the blonde hair. Man. It was on in like the early 2000s. Most Haunted. It was either Most Haunted or Ghost Adventures. I seen this.
Rose Hall, and it says Rose Hall, Zach, Nick, and Aaron embarked on a 2-part lockdown on the island of Jamaica that includes exploration of the Rose Hall. But now it says Rose. This is
This
Raynham
is
Hall.
Ryanham.
Yeah, this is a different one.
Raynham.
Yeah.
Hall. Let me look this up.
Yeah, that's a different. The Brown Lady, the Ghost of Raynham Wall. So I'm clicking on that.
Hello, Elena.
Yeah, that was a different one. The Brown Lady of the Ghost of Raynham Hall. Doesn't say anything about people being there, but that's just one site.
Here we go. Ryanham Hall featured on what was it? I just lost it. Ryanham Hall featured on Ghost Hunting Show on Travel Channel. Paranormal investigators Amy Bruni, Adam Berry. Oh, so that was what do you call it? With his kindred spirits. That was the other guys, the plumbers show Taps.
Taps.
It was on
Okay.
Taps. They did that. Okay.
The first typical group on Travel Channel that did a ghost show like that.
I knew I see
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah, because they were before Ghost Adventure. See if there's any more. There's probably one more. Unless that's the last one.
Good shot.
Yeah, that was the last one.
Great shot. I think that's real.
Let's see here. He wrote that the picture that made that place famous.
Yeah, it certainly looks real.
Yeah. So now let me just pull up. Let me pull up here because you got some you got a good show coming up this Sunday.
Oh, speaking of that, I actually have a little promo here. I'm gonna send over to us.
Robert Earl White, and that's scheduled for Sunday.
Hang on a second. I want to give everybody. Well, you know what? I'll put it up on my channel. Yes, he'll be on this Sunday. I'm gonna drop a promo after this on my channel for this, so you can get a taste of what you're gonna see. This guy actually had, when he was a kid, he actually had a triangular craft blow up behind his house. It landed. It was sparking. It made the newspaper. Military was there. The police, the fire. There's tons of records for this, but it actually landed. It was like sparking and exploding behind his house. And there's just tons of proof that this happened. But Robert will be on this Sunday. That's going to be a show you're not going to want to miss with a shit ton of evidence. So it's going to be awesome. Stay tuned for the promo by me.
And you're still going to have one this Wednesday. You just haven't got the channel.
I have
link
not put it up. I have not put it up yet. I'll put it up in a little while. I don't. I got a couple ideas in my head. I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with yet.
I know what you're saying.
Did you check out that one right there yet, Eric? The UFO over Canada that was sent to me this weekend. Now, some people were saying it's a Mylar balloon. I don't know, but a lot of people seen this thing. So it stood in the same spot for quite some time.
That's that is good.
Yeah, nobody gave me any information on this. It was on, exploring with Harley. You're in Canada. Did you hear anything about this UFO sighting in Ontario, Canada, a couple days ago? Have you, if you heard anything, let me know with this video. I'm trying to get more information. Or Mike Johnson, you're out there in Canada too. If anybody knows anything that's out there, please let me know. Any of our Canadian friends.
The last I want to ask everybody in the chat, does it look like where is it? Does this look like we're both in the same room? To you people in the chat, look at this footage here. Does it actually look like Anthony and I are actually in the same office, or can you tell that doing some magic to put it together? I'm just curious what people thought.
This idea that Eric and I came up with, we're trying to figure out how we can make StreamYard look more like OBS by removing the square boxes around us and have us in the same room with each other. And we figured it out there, as you could see, to an extent. But yeah, we're not giving away the secret on this one to anybody, but it worked. It did work.
I mean, until our hands like disappear.
Yeah, right.
Like that. But in a way, it does.
Great idea. It worked.
It was a fun.
And you bastard! I didn't even know you were going to put this up. I thought this was for me and you as a test. And next thing I'm looking on Eric's shows, I'm like, holy shit, he put it up, that nut.
That way, we had a good conversation. Conversation. I thought, why not? People should see it. I was curious. I was just curious if anybody's going to say in the chat, "Are you guys together?" I wanted to see if somebody says that. So that was a fun experiment, because we're always looking to see how can we have fun and change some things up here and there, because that's what it's about, right? Changing up a little bit, making things look different, having fun, and all that. So, guys, that's today's show. So Anthony has a show Wednesday, 9 a.m. East Coast time, of course.
Yeah,
noon West Coast time. So afternoon for me.
I'm actually putting up.
I'm wrong. Afternoon for the East Coast, morning for me.
Right now, as we speak, I'm uploading this promo video to my channel. It'll be on in a second. So when we're done here, please just go over there, check it out. It's a promo to tell you everything that's going to be coming up Sunday. The guy Robert's going to talk, give you a little bit of his story. I'm going to talk a little. So please head over to my channel to check that out, please. It'll be up momentarily.
And guys, I'm back from where I was gone for a week, so everything's back to normal. Just getting that flow back, and I appreciate you guys showing up. I came back over the weekend, so I didn't have time to do a lot of research for today's show. That'll be fun. Just kind of a little bit of a politics. Once in a while, we'll mix a little politics, but not usually. Usually, we all keep the politics out of it. But it makes sense to bring in politics for today's show about the corruption of the earth. And I'm always wondering, because of the corruption, is that what's going to cause, if we're talking about a very intelligent ET that's more than just can get here, they're exploring, and when will it be time when they will come out and speak to us? And hopefully when they do, it's for good reasons, not to destroy us. That'd be bad. But beyond that, appreciate you guys being here today, and we'll see you next time.
See you on the next one.
On the